Hi, I'm Mark Rushka. Welcome to my 7th in a series of videos that attempt to plant the Caucasian mammoth people's existence into your mind's eye. I'm going to do it by showing you examples of their unprecedented microlithic abstract art figurative language. If you've already seen the first 6 videos, you will know that this advanced Ice Age culture's most important epic folklore tale is that of the volcanic mass exodus. What I found out after interpreting hundreds of large, easy-to-see microlithic abstract artworks from the Spanish diggings of east central Wyoming is that for them, at that time and place, their second most popular repetitive theme, or epic folklore tale, was that of the bucking milk cow. That epic folklore tale had to have transpired shortly before the multitudes of trekking mammoth people entered what is now northeastern Wyoming, and most likely took place in what is present-day Montana. Imagine, if you will, a long mammoth caravan of trekkers who were traveling with their domestic animals that included not only their mammoth, but their cattle, sheep, gray-lag geese, and their bloodhound and Scottish terrier dogs. As they trekked through the tall swaying paragraphs of what is now Montana, a pair of lurking lions sprung up and attacked the lead family's domestic milk cow. Either a pair of rogue male lions, a pair of lions that included the male lion and his lioness mate, or sometimes even a saber-toothed tiger, attacked the lead milk cow. She walked abreast to the right of the lead mammoth that Grandma was sitting atop on her special armchair. Mom herdswoman walked between the lead mammoth and the domestic milk cow where she could be at eye level with her infant son, who was strapped to a backboard carrier that was slung over the domestic milk cow's left shoulder. Here is a line sketch of what that would look like. This is when a pair of lurking lions attack the domestic milk cow. The male lion jumps up and clings on to her rear end while he tries to bite her spine. His lioness mate chases after the now wildly bucking and spinning milk cow's bellowing and snorting snout so she can suffocate her, or she goes for her throat and her jugular. The milk cow's harness strap was cleanly yanked out of the lead hunter-herder, or dad's, right hand when she started spinning in circles and bucking wildly, with the screaming infant flopping violently on her left shoulder, and all Mom and Dad could do is watch helplessly. I'm going to show you some other illustrations that are in my second book, The Reflections from the Pleistocene, like I have in the past, which will help put these images in your mind's eye. Here's one. These were sketched perhaps 6 or 7 years ago. Dad would be over here leading the lead mammoth when the surprise attack took place. Mom's standing there helplessly, and there's the infant flopping on the bucking milk cow's left shoulder. This particular example had the lioness on the back of the bucking milk cow while the male lion was attacking the rear end. Here was another one that I sketched, except this time it was a saber-toothed cat that was attacking the lead domestic milk cow. Mom's just standing there helplessly, and the infant's flopping on the left shoulder of the bucking milk cow. And what I'm going to do is focus on this particular piece, this sketch that I sketched after I interpreted the Spanish digging pieces. So here's the artwork. As usual, they're highly polished, heat-treated pieces. Just doesn't look like anything special. Laid on the ground at the Spanish diggings for millennia, 13 millennia or more, and it's polished by wind-blown sand. pretty much undisturbed. You might say, well, how can that be an artwork? Well, let's start out like this. This is a close-up image of the left side view of Mom Herdswoman's head. That's her hood-covered head. She has a bonnet on underneath. Of course, that's her left eye or nose, her open mouth and chin. That's her right there. She's standing there looking just helpless after the lion's attacked. Reflecting off the front of her face as the milk cow spins around in circles every time her infant comes back around is her infant's face. That's the infant's head. Her nose, it's like reflecting off of her nose, is the frilled front edge of the infant's baby bonnet. His pug nose, his mouth, and his chin. He's flopping like that. Every time it goes around, there's Mom, and there's him. As the bucking milk cow spins, and the lioness, the male lion's on her rear end, but the lioness is chasing after her snout, her snorting and bellowing snout, so she can get a hold of it and suffocate it, or just get a hold of her jugular. So watch. So opposing Mom's head should be the lioness, like that, because they would come face to face every time the lioness chases her around. So they'd be looking towards each other, and they'd be sharing the backs of their heads because they would be in each other's heads thinking about each other. So watch as Mom turns. Here comes the lioness's face. There's her open mouth, her nose, her right cheek, the classic lioness face, her squinting right eye that's actually hollow. You can look right into it. Her right ear's laid back. This is her left eye. And the top of her head's kind of smashed down, and I'll explain that in a second. But look, it's exactly that left eye, that right eye. Her open mouth, she's biting. And she is chasing that bucking milk cow just like that. To verify that, see the bucking milk cow's tongue sticking out? Her muzzle, her nostrils are flared. And that's exactly what we see here. This is the bucking milk cow's snorting and bellowing snout. That's her right flared nostril, her left one, and the tip of her tongue sticking out. And her chin is right on top of the lioness's left eye, coming down on top of her head. Just like that. You see it? Now, since this is a predator-prey piece, the lioness should be at odds with Mom. So we would start to invert her head. We would rotate, once we're looking at that lioness's face, we would rotate it to try to invert it. And as we do, and when she tips on her head like that, the left side of her head, something caught my eye. And we're going to magnify and zoom in. I want you to pay attention to her nose. Just follow. So like this is her nose. This is like her right lip, her upper lip. Just focus. Let's focus on this area. And see this, there's like a drip coming down from her eye. It's like almost like a teardrop, but it's like just a classic lioness's eye. So let's just focus on that area while I rotate the piece. And we're going to zoom in, and I'm going to use this I'm just going to zoom in about right there. We'll see what we can see. I've got to hold it steady so the camera can focus on it. Concentrate at the bottom of that drip, which is right here. And this, the bottom of the Linus's nose and right, top of right lip. And what you'll see is this. You're going to see the reflection. Mom's right arm. This is her elbow. It's bent at the elbow. That's her right hand, just like that. And there's her face, exactly like that. Her left eye, if I can point, left eye, her right eye, her nose, and her open mouth. She's right at the bottom. She's looking right, basically into the Linus's right eye. Now, watch this. She's also looking towards helpless Dad. Watch. I'm going to just turn it a little further. And look where she's looking up. She's looking. This is all about light. So, she is looking over here. And there's Dad's face. There's his right eye, his left eye, his wide open mouth, his nose. Just try to burn his image into your mind's eye. It's the front left side view of his face. He's startled looking, helpless, just as Mom is. They're both looking towards each other. And consequently, towards the Linus's right eye. They're looking right at her too. If you got his image burned in your mind's eye, now watch this. This is how this microlithic abstract art works. These are microlithic reflection images off of that Linus. But if you zoom into Dad's face, so if you burned his image into your mind's eye, there's his left eye, his right eye, his nose, his open mouth, his chin, front left side view of his white face. If you zoom into it, what happens, I'm going to turn the piece back like this, and I'm going to zoom back out, and now just stare at the piece without seeing everything but the white, and it morphs into that close-up image of Dad that's helpless, looking back at Mom. There's that teardrop out of the Linus's eye is now Dad. It's connected to Dad's squinting left eye, helpless left eye. Mom is reflecting off of his nose. That's the left side of his nose. The Linus's nose and upper right lip is also Dad's nose. Here's his right eye. Well, I don't know what I said, but this is his left eye. I might have said right eye. There's his open mouth. And there's his white chin. His mouth is partial up, and he's dumbstruck. He's helpless. Mom, he's looking at Mom, because Mom's looking right into his eye. Just like that. Now watch this. When I move my thumb, the bucking milk cow, here's the original, the first scene. The bucking milk cow's snorting, bellowing snout will morph into the front left side view of the Linus, the attacking Linus. Right there. It's a mirror image of that. I want you to see it. You just can't miss it. So in other words, the bellowing milk cow snorting, flared right nostril has now morphed into the Linus left eye. It's a lion's left eye. That's her left eye. Her right eye's over there. And the bellowing milk cow's tongue tip has morphed into the lioness's tongue tip. They're sharing the same tongue tip because they're opposing heads. They're in each other's heads in a predator-prey way. They're sharing the backs of their heads. So they're face to face. They're actually nose to nose, or the tongue tip to tongue tip. And she's also cheek to cheek with Dad. So if Dad were standing over here, as if he was the lion, the male lion reaching for his infant, as the bucking milk cow spins in a circle, every time that lioness went around, or in one time it happened for sure, the lioness's right cheek brushed up against stunned helpless Dad's left cheek. They're cheek to cheek. Dad can't do anything about it. He's reaching, he's trying to reach out to his infant, and the lioness just is chasing the bucking milk cow around like that, and her right cheek brushed up against, it's like if Mom was Dad, it'd brush up against her left cheek while she reached for the infant. You see it? Dad with Mom's reflection. His image up close, his image far away, that you can just zoom into by taking a step back and viewing his whole face right there. The lioness, and then her first image, the bucking milk cow's first image, on top, chin on top of her left eye. Mom's close-up image, the infant's image. Until next time.